environment in Rivers State necessitated such an extraordinary measure. 2. Failure of leadership. The current leadership in Rivers State, represented by Governor Similaye Fubara and Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu, has not made adequate attempts to address the deteriorating situation in Rivers State. Their failure to seek the assistance of the President, as mandated in Section 305, subsection 5, indicates a lack of readiness and capacity to govern effectively. It is therefore the duty of the President and Commander-in-Chief to intervene when local leaders are unable or unwilling to fulfill their responsibilities to the people. 3. Restoring peace and security. The ongoing unrest and political instability in Rivers State pose significant risk to the safety and security of its citizens. A state of emergency provides an imperative framework to restore peace, address the sources of conflict, and create an environment conducive to effective governance. 4. Appointment of an administrator. The appointment of Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, retired, as administrator is a strategic decision aimed at stabilizing the state's affairs. His vast experience will help steer the state towards a path of recovery, focusing on law and order while upholding the principles of justice and governance. The administrator's role will be to ensure the continuity of governance and the restoration of public confidence in the state leadership. 5. Judicial independence. We commend the assurance that the judicial arm of government in Rivers State will continue to operate independently. This underscores the respect for the rule of law while allowing the necessary interventions in government. As civil rights coalition, therefore, we stand in affirming the recent action taken by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as well as the resolution passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives, respectively, concerning the state of emergency in Rivers State. The prolonged political turmoil between the executive and the legislative arm of government in Rivers State has led to governance crisis that requires immediate and decisive action. We commend President Tinubu for his bold declaration of a state of emergency aimed at restoring order and ensuring effective governance. The suspension of Governor Similaye Fubara, Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu, and all members of the Rivers State House of Assembly is a necessary step to facilitate the process. Furthermore, we fully support the Senate's resolution to invoke Section 11, subsection 4 of the Nigerian Constitution, empowering the Nigerian National Assembly to establish a joint advisory committee to oversee the administration of Rivers State during this period. This oversight is crucial for ensuring that the interests of the citizens are maintained and that stability is restored in Rivers State. We also welcome the Senate's suggestion to form a committee of eminent Nigerians tasked with reconciling the conflicting parties within the government of Rivers State. Such an initiative is essential not only for immediate resolution of the ongoing crisis, but also for fostering a more collective and effective governance structure in the future. The House of Representatives' affirmation of the state of emergency further reinforces the consensus on the need for urgent intervention. We believe that these measures are in the best interest of the people of Rivers State and Nigeria as a whole. As we navigate this crucial juncture, we urge all stakeholders to contribute to a peaceful and productive resolution of the crisis in Rivers State. It is only through collective actions and dialogue that we can restore hope and trust in governance. We look forward to the implementation of the aforementioned recommendations and stand ready to support any measures that prioritize the welfare and rights of the citizens of Rivers State. In conclusion, as champions of governance, we believe that this declaration is an essential step towards restoring the rule of law, stability, and effective leadership in Rivers State. It is our collective responsibility to prioritize the welfare of the people of Rivers State above all political considerations. But by standing together and supporting this urgent intervention, we can contribute to the restoration of peace and the establishment of a government that truly serves the interests of the citizens. We appreciate your attention to this important matter and look forward to the cooperation of all stakeholders in ensuring a swift and effective resolution to the situation in Rivers State. Long live Rivers State and long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This press briefing is signed by so much. I will just start from the last person who asked a question. Yeah, I just start responding. Rosemary from Arise News, you did ask if you feel that it is unconstitutional, and that a lot of other civil societies are talking about that, You see, Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution as amended is unambiguous, it's very simple, and it is clear. If you go from subsection 1, start reading downwards, you see the conditions upon which the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the conditions that could warrant, the declaration of a state of emergency. You see, here it is clear that the Constitution did not explicitly, talk about suspension or not suspension. Now, you are talking about the suspension of the legislative arm of government and the executive arm of government. Has it ever been done in the history of Nigeria? Yes. Between 1999 and 2007, we had a president, President Olusegun Obasanjo, that declared a state of emergency in several states, and he also suspended democratic institutions there. But this one is even taking a very, very significant dimension. The National Assembly, as it were, in this declaration, the Senate has mentioned that they are going to look at Section 11, subsection 5 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, where, the National Assembly, that is the Senate and the House of Representatives, respectively, are going to take over, that, legislative function of government. In other words, the National Assembly is taking over the function of that legislative vacuum that was supposed to be there, which was not done, in the previous declaration by other presidents. Okay? So what President Ahmed Bola Tinubu has done in Rivers State is in tandem with the provisions of the law. It's right, and no meaningful government will fold its arm and watch the breakdown of law and order in any state. as the primary aim of government is to provide security and social welfare for its citizens. So it becomes abysmal, it becomes very poor if a president will watch, sit down and see someone go and demolish an arm of government, break down the legislative arm of government, and for 14 months has refused to rebuild it. And even the president has even gone as far as trying to reconcile the parties. You know, at the end of the day, the crisis still persists. What do you expect the president to do? The president is firm. He got our support because he is not just doing that. He's doing what he has done. The declaration of state of emergency as done by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is synonymous and consistent with the provisions of the law when you look at section 305 from subsection 1 downwards. So there is no infraction whatsoever, and as a coalition of civil society organizations here in Nigeria, we are affirming what Mr. President have done, and we are saying we are in full support, and we say kudos to him. So lastly, the guy from Radio Nigeria, he talked about suspension of the executive arm. So I think in this analysis, I think I've captured it. Because the National Assembly is going to take over that function of legislative function. You understand? So why the military, the sole administrator is like the executive arm of government. We did not see something like this during the Obasanjo's declaration of state of emergency. What does it show? It shows you that President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is responsive and responsible to the yearnings and aspirations of the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.